All right. Good morning and welcome to TEACAST. My name is Kendi Mwabila and I'll be the one hosting this TEACAST edition this morning on a beautiful, cold Wednesday morning in Nairobi. I'll start off with a few announcements before I introduce the team that is going to join me today to discuss a very interesting theme on why should you attend TEACON? Is there a specific reason why you need to go to TEACON? Is there something interesting that will take you down to TEACON? We'll discuss challenges, but allow me first to dive into the announcement so that you get to see what is happening on this front of TEACON. To start us off, is the club that is leading, and I'll share my screen for that. So just watch out. The club that is leading in terms of membership. Which club has the highest members going to Toastmasters East African Conference? At the very top, and this is a tie, we have Rafiki Toastmasters and Dar es Salaam Toastmasters that have the highest number of Toastmasters heading down to Mombasa. Exceed Toastmasters follows their shot just right below Dar es Salaam and Rafiki Toastmasters. My question to you is why isn't your club name here? And I'll start with mine. Kwanza Kenya, we are the oldest club in Kenya. We should be the one leading this team and showing them what it means to be first. Can we take this up next time and ensure that we are first on this podium? Rafiki Toastmasters, Dar es Salaam Toastmasters, and Exceed Toastmasters, congratulations. Keep encouraging your members to go down to TEACON. It's interesting that when I look at this board, countries are represented in almost equal numbers. Rafiki Toastmasters is in Kenya, Dar es Salaam is in, obviously, Tanzania, and Exceed Toastmasters in Uganda, Ethiopia, Burundi, Djibouti, Eritrea, Mayotte. Why aren't we seeing you here? It will be good to have a representation across all the 10 countries that form the District 114. But in the meantime, let us celebrate these clubs, and we look forward to seeing each and every person heading down to TEACON. Another announcement that I have is the ongoing sale. If you've been under a rock, you have missed out the discussion about the flash sale that is going on. I know a lot of people have requested that we extend the $100 ticket. However, we are not going to extend it. But fret not, we still have you covered. We're going to have flash sales that will keep running on random days, but, because we want a lot of you to come down to Mombasa, TEACAST, every TEACAST will have this offer that I will share again for you to see clearly. We'll be having a flash sale in every TEACAST session. So if your club is going to attend TEACAST, what we're going to do is get every person to type on the chat and say, you know what, I am Kendi and I am tuning in from Nairobi. My club is Kwanza Kenya. The club with the highest attendance will get the $100 ticket offer for only 24 hours. Get your members to come. I know a lot of people are talking about renewing their Toastmasters subscription, but hey, TEACAST is also around the corner. TEACON is around the corner. Why don't you take this opportunity and get your ticket at $100, because the current ticket is going for $120. So this is your opportunity to still encourage your members to come, type on the chat, attend TEACAST, get to see what's happening on TEACAST, and still have an opportunity to get your club an exclusive offer. Now that that is said and done, I am elated to have a wonderful team joining me. This is a team of presidents. This is a team of leaders. This is a team of Toastmasters who are going to spice up your morning to tell you what are the challenges that people are experiencing on the ground, and how we can overcome these challenges and make sure that each of us has a reason that we are persuading you to come down to Mombasa. So I will introduce this team just by their name, but they will tell us a little bit more about themselves. And I'll start with the beautiful Paula Biraro. Paula Biraro is a Toastmaster president of the Speaking Women Club. Speaking woman, not speaking women. So Paula, if you may, kindly introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit more about yourself. Who is Paula beyond Toastmasters? What does she do for fun? And is she going for TEACON or not?
Thank you so much, the beautiful Candy. Just as I mentioned before, I love your makeup. You look bright and cheery this morning. And good morning to our TEAcast followers. Over here in Mombasa, it is quite warm, unlike Nairobi. So that could be one of the reasons that you'd want to come for the TEACON conference. My name is Paula Biraro, just as Candy has introduced, and I am the proud leader and member of Speaking Woman Toastmasters. Speaking Woman Toastmasters is the first ladies-only exclusive Toastmasters club here in East Africa. So we indeed have had the opportunity for us to grab and get hold of the ladies who are interested in having a safe space where they can actually connect, where they can have the opportunity to build their leadership skills and communication skills, and also do it at the comfort of their homes, because it's more or less a virtual meeting. Now, just to tell you a bit about myself, I am a proud mother of two, a proud mother, proud wife to one husband. And when I look at what I do professionally, I am currently in the plastic surgery business. My husband is a surgeon, and we have a practice here in Mombasa. For those who may not know much about plastic surgery, it has two arms related to it. There's the cosmetic arm that is popular, about enhancing your beauty and doing different procedures. If you've heard of the nose job, you've heard of Botox and all that, that is what we do. But there's also the not so glamorous bit, which is a reconstructive bit, which looks at how we can work on addressing injuries that have been caused to the body as a result of maybe accidents, trauma, and maybe burns, if I can give that as an example. So that's just me professionally. And in light of what I do in my free time, I said I love walking on the beach. So this background is just great. Sorry about the background. I have children. I also love reading novels. I love reading my Bible. And yeah, that's basically me in essence. Oh yes, I love traveling. So that's also another story when it comes to Mombasa. Thank you.
I like that. I like that. If people thought Toastmasters is just a group of random people coming to learn about public speaking, you have a person who can do some good surgery if you want a nose job or you want to look better because of an injury. This is a platform that goes beyond building public speaking skills, but also networking. Thank you so much, Paula, for that introduction. Now, our second Toastmaster, who is going to introduce herself as well. I believe that ladies should go first. This beautiful lady is from the city of Flamingos. And I really have a special connection with that city because that's where I grew up. So, Paula Phoebe Wairimo, kindly introduce yourself. Tell us who Paula is. What does Paula love doing? Two Paulas today. It's a beautiful day indeed. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Candy. I'm deeply honored and delighted to be here to be on your panel this morning. Thank you so much. So like she's mentioned, I'm Phoebe Paula Wairimo, the club president of Flamingo Toastmasters. I mean, it's only at Toastmasters that you get to at least wear the president hat or get the president title. At least, you know, we don't just look at president and we think state house and all. At ground level, we too can be presidents because we are leaders. So Phoebe, who is Phoebe? Phoebe is a mother of two. Phoebe is an accountant by profession, but fun thing is I really haven't practiced. But thanks to Toastmasters, I think I'm at a point where I've kind of built my confidence, and now that is something that I want to venture into. So at the moment, I'm in the private security industry, and yes, making sure that we keep safe people's property and people's lives. I mean, that's what private security does. What about me? I think I'm an ambivert. I
Paula, we've lost you. You've muted yourself. Phoebe, we have lost you. You've muted yourself. Yes.
I am so sorry. I don't know if I got lost. Sorry, I got interrupted on a
You were
call.
telling us
So
you
yes,
are an ambivert. That's why we
yes,
lost.
ambivert. I'm both an introvert and extrovert. So I think because if you asked me to be on such a space, honestly, you'd probably come pick me under the table or somewhere. But thanks.
You've muted yourself again. Phoebe, you've muted yourself.
Sorry?
You had muted yourself.
Sorry, I'm getting interrupted on call.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so that is basically it. I don't know if I got cut off, but yes. So I feel deeply honored that I am a Toastmaster and I get to be on such platforms and with confidence. So yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. From accountant to private security. That is a story that you'll need to elaborate a bit further. Where's the convergence of the two? Accountant, private security. But it is all right. Again, it's Toastmasters. This is where we get to spice things up. We get to know people who started on one journey and ended up on a particular journey, and we still celebrate you. And thank you for coming. In as much as you told us we'll pick you from under the table, I'm glad I didn't have to do that this morning. Yeah. So looking
Thank
forward
you.
to having a fruitful discussion and engaging with you, Phoebe.
Thank
Now
you.
to the gentleman who is here, the only gentleman. And I know people say that African societies are quite polygamous, but we are happy to celebrate the gentleman that is here with this lovely queens. I think we make him look beautiful, or rather handsome. We make you look good, Samuel. So please unmute yourself, introduce yourself, tell us about who Samuel is in just a minute, and then we start.
Go for breakfast.
Hi everyone. My name is Samuel Kamwana, and there is the additional last name Gaku in case you found that on LinkedIn. And Samuel is a software developer, currently working in a company called Griffin Global Technologies. So we offer software solutions to our clients. And other than that, what Samuel loves doing. Okay, as Aria introduced, Summer is the president in Kilele Toastmasters Club. Kilele is the club within the Mount Kenya region in the mountain. Kilele means the peak. So we identify ourselves as the peak high up there.
Nice.
Yeah. And other than that, the next thing Summer loves doing, Summer loves traveling, and Summer loves reading. So a lot of times I'll go somewhere, travel to a beautiful place, and sit down with my book. That's something interesting I do when I'm not at work, when I'm not in Toastmasters. And in addition, I'm part of another big organization called Rotary. So that's the other group that occupies when my free time, when I'm not in Toastmasters, not reading, not traveling, I'm in Rotary doing community service. Thank you.
I like that. You are merging both Toastmasters and Rotary. That's a heart that is full of kindness. Thank you for that. And I like how you described your club as the peak. Kilele, it's the peak. So you're constantly up there breathing very fresh, cool air. Thank you, Samuel, for joining us all the way from Nyeri. Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Now, guys, ladies and gentlemen, we know what has been happening. we know that a lot of people have been talking about renewing their Toastmasters membership and have used this as a reason perhaps not to buy their ticket early. You are presidents, and not just presidents, you are presidents of clubs that are outside Nairobi. There's always a lot of buzz in Nairobi because we get to visit each other's clubs and make noise about TEACON. But when you are on the outskirts, there are not as many clubs as we have in Nairobi. So first thing, what are the challenges you are experiencing in getting people to come down to Mombasa and attend TEACON? And this doesn't have to be, it might be your own experience, what challenges you are experiencing, because I believe we all have things that are common, but also what have you heard? So I think we'll start with Paula Biraro. Please tell us, what are the challenges on the ground, or what challenges are you experiencing as an individual?
Okay, thank you so much, Candy.
Yes.
When it comes to the TEACON conference, for me, I'll speak from the point of view as the hosts for the conference. It's going to be here in Mombasa at Pride Inn. And there's always the stereotype about if an occasion is in your backyard, you want to do things last minute. So most people at the moment just would like to, do what they can doing other things and then maybe pay towards the end. So that one also is a bit of a challenge. Trying to encourage the different clubs like within our particular region to make the payment. I know there's a lot of drive that has been spearheaded towards that by the different presidents, but also at the moment, as you had mentioned, with regards to renewals, they're also competing priorities. But I'm hoping that as maybe March comes to a close, then people would be more focused on making these payments for this conference. Yeah.
That's so important, competing priorities. And I think that's one of the things that we are experiencing across District 114. A lot of people are trying to renew at the same time they are trying to make sure that they pay for their ticket to go to TEACON. So Samuel Kamwana, what are the challenges that you have experienced aside from competing priorities?
I think something major, I don't know whether most people have come across this as presidents, is we have a lot of membership joining in during the COVID time where everything was virtual, meaning that I have attended the previous year's TEACONs where it was virtual, but currently as physical. That transition, we have most people who don't even know like much that goes on. And then that transition from virtual, where I'm just used to attending it virtual, to now physical, where I have an expense on accommodation, travel. So it's also becoming kind of problem, I would say.
That's interesting. I will never have envisioned that as a challenge. So it's interesting that people are still transitioning from virtual spaces to physical spaces. But what do you think we can do to create an excitement of getting back to physical meetings? Because Kamwana, you were a Toastmaster before COVID, correct?
Yes.
Paula, were you a Toastmaster before COVID?
I joined in 2019, so around the time, yeah.
Okay, what about you, Phoebe?
During COVID, 2020.
During COVID. Okay, great. So perhaps, Kamona, before I go to Phoebe, for Phoebe to tell me what her experience has been, how can we encourage people to get back to physical spaces? Because you and I know the juice of Toastmasters is in the physical meeting. So how do we encourage people to just have, instead of a fixed mind, a more flexible and adaptable mind?
That's a really nice question. So currently, I think maybe I can give an example with our case. Our case, how we got back to physical. In our club, Kilele, I remember that year I was the vice president education, and we were trying to transition people who are used to virtual back to physical. So how we did, we just took the bold step anyway. And I remember starting the meeting, we had the process, we had very few attendees, then made our meetings as much as exciting as we can. So that called attracted more people, as well as if you may be following our club, you'll notice that we are so big on publicity. So every tiny bit of our meeting, we shout it over to the world, and everyone gets that call to attend. I think those are the strategies that worked for us. Yeah.
Okay. And have you had 100% transition, at least for the members who are there before COVID?
That one I would say not everyone came back. But what we did is recruiting more new members. The catch with these now new members, most of them have no idea about TEACON.
That's quite disappointing. I feel a bit heartbroken because as marketing chair, that means I'm not doing my job. That's why you're here. That is why you are here. So Phoebe, to just hear from you, you joined Toastmasters during COVID. How has been your transition from COVID time to now the physical, actually attending the virtual meetings and now transitioning to physical, or are you still on the virtual space?
So thank you so much, Kendi. Maybe what I forgot to elaborate, Flamingo is a fully online meeting. I mean, club. So our meetings are fully virtual. So before COVID, during or after, it's just the same for us. I guess for us, in fact, based on a conversation I was having with some of my EXCO members or some of Flamingo members, we were talking about how during COVID or during the time we joined Toastmasters, when the dollar rate was much more favorable, payment the payment then and the payment now, it's almost doubled. So you see, there's that huge challenge of trying to keep up with the payment, given that it's a bit strenuous. The economy is currently a bit strenuous. So you have, like Paula mentioned, the element of trying to prioritize. So I think that's one thing as of our club. That's maybe the one thing that has been a challenge. So yes, I think personally for me, in fact, I just recently got to witness or to try out a physical meeting. I got invited by President Samuel to Kilele. And for me, that was honestly the first physical meeting I attended. So I think I've not really had a physical meeting experience. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's you're missing out. All I'll tell you is you are missing out. Because sometimes I feel that the growth is when you stand in front of people and your words disappear and you have to come back again and start. When you're looking at people on camera, it's very easy to get your way through it. But when you are standing in front of a real audience, you realize others are not even looking at you, others are sussing you out. That's where the real connection, that's where the work is, because you have to connect with these people and make sure that they're able to get the information you want them to get. But regardless, we are growing as speakers. We are stretching ourselves in Toastmasters, whether virtually or physically. But I will encourage you to visit my club soon. Visit the oldest club in Kenya. But that aside, you have brought a very crucial challenge that a lot of people have been speaking about: the cost. The cost of living has increased significantly. And if I was to bring all of us on board, perhaps this is something that you are all experiencing in your club, that people are saying it might be a bit expensive to come down to Mombasa because the dollar rate is high. But luckily it has decreased rather to the shilling. Now we are looking at 131.8 from 165. I mean, that is a significant plunder, yeah? Did I say it correct? Yes. Plummeted, not plunder. Yes, it's gone down significantly. That's all I'm trying to say. But now, what about the cost? And I think this is something that we can dive into. When it comes to the cost, Paula, you're the person on the ground. When it comes to cost of things in Mombasa, perhaps for people to understand, we'll be in Shanzu. What kind of cost are we looking at spending per day when it comes to food, transport? I know Mombasa, but Phoebe here, allow me to spill this tea. Phoebe has never been to Mombasa. I was like, what do you mean? As in, like, I'm speechless. So, Paula, for Phoebe, what kind of cost should she look at when it comes to other general things in Mombasa?
Thank you so much, Candy. I'm a firm believer that if you start with costs, you discourage yourself before you begin. So maybe we can start with what are the benefits. I did not talk about from the beginning that I'm sorry, my children with me in the background, just take note of that. I did not mention from the beginning that I am actually Ugandan by nationality, and I'm here by virtue of the fact that we're doing a business here in Mombasa. So as a Ugandan or as a foreigner who is in Mombasa, I would think would be best placed to encourage those who are from outside to come to Mombasa. Mombasa is a beautiful place. It is one of the top destinations here in East Africa. And it's unfortunate that my namesake has not come down, and yet she's the closest. But we hope that with this conference, this will be the added edge that shall push you down south. We have the beautiful sandy beaches. We have the oceans to explore. We have the forests if you'd want to go to the forests. We have the scenic flights in case you want to just have a lookout on the coastal terrain. Sit down, Coco. Sorry. We have the beautiful Diani, where they have the white sandy beaches. There's a lot that Mombasa has to offer in terms of culture, experiences, food. We have beautiful and amazing cuisines that are here. So for those who love traveling, like this would be a good opportunity for you to come and enjoy what Mombasa has to offer. I know that a number of us have not taken a vacation in a while, and Mombasa is not that expensive in terms of tourist destinations via the coast compared to other places. If you are a person that is traveling, for instance, from Uganda, we have direct flights with our airlines 3 times a week. So all this just comes down to planning. If you know that you want to come for the conference, please plan, book your flights early. You can also come by bus, and there's the train option for those who have a slightly leaner budget. In terms of accommodation, we have Airbnbs. Airbnbs came here to save us. So you can actually plan to have an Airbnb, which is maybe near Shanzu or near Bamburi, or even in Mombasa, Nyali area. So that can enable you to travel to the place where we're having our conference and then return in the evening. Transport options are not so expensive. We know about the famous tuk-tuks that you can use in case you want to move back and forth. So in a sense, really, if you plan well, if you book early, and really May is also a good season. It's not so much of a peak season, so the cost should not be so high. That would encourage you to come down south. So Paula and Sami and all the other Toastmasters from East Africa, we are looking forward to having you down here, and we're looking forward to hosting you and having a wonderful time at the TEACON conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Paula. I can see how excited the babies are to be on screen. I relate with you 100% on being a mother. Every time I sit down and my son, the littlest, sees me on the screen, it is time for him to join me and let's chat with whoever is online. So cheers to being a mother and multitasking. Now, what Paula has brought up is actually very, very straightforward. It is not The cost is not expensive. Phoebe, the cost is not, the cost is not expensive. It is quite affordable. And I think even to break it down from what Paula has indicated, and also to many other Toastmasters and non-Toastmasters who desire to come to Mombasa, the cheapest accommodation from what we have looked at that is closest to our conference venue, and that is Friday in Paradise, goes for about 3,000 shillings per shared, it's an apartment, per shared, 3,000 shillings per person per night in a shared apartment. So if you're looking at the 3 nights, that comes roughly comes to about 9,000 shillings. Then we look at the train. If you're traveling, say, from Nairobi, because I believe that a lot of people will come to Nairobi to travel to Mombasa, whether by flight or by train, but there are also other coaches that come all the way from different places. I know there's one that comes from, I think, is it not Modern Coast, because Modern Coast is no longer available. There are routes like from Busia all the way to Eldoret, Nakuru. Those are coaches that go to Mombasa. And you can find this for as much as 3,000 return trip. Yeah. So depending on what mode of transport you're looking at, if you're to even travel, Phoebe, if I was to use you as an example, if you're to travel from Nakuru, let's say you take a Molo line from Nakuru, Samuel, I don't know how much the shuttles are from Nyeri, but I'm assuming they'll play around the same, maybe 600 shillings thereabouts. You travel and then come to Nairobi, and then you take a train, SGR from Nairobi to Mombasa. That one will cost you, again, 3,000 shillings for the return trip. So you can add that becomes 12,000, but again, you have to put your cost of transport within the city. So let's put it at maybe 14,000. Yeah, if you decided to cab. So that's 14,000 from Nakuru to Nairobi, then Nairobi to Mombasa. And that one we've included your SGR transport, your accommodation, and your travel within Nairobi from the station, bus station, or whatever terminus it is you're lighting at, to the SGR. Then now from SGR in Mombasa to Shanzu, it's quite a distance, isn't it? Paula, how long is the distance? Is it about 30 minutes or so?
Yes, it's around 30 minutes, but Shanzu is also a little distance. So it depends on the time you arrive. When there's no, in the morning when there's no jam for work, you arrive even 20 minutes. But when there is quite some jam, maybe 45 minutes.
Okay.
But remember that you will be in Shanzu, which is away from town. So once you're there, then you're set. Yeah.
Okay. So we can put, maybe if you decide to cab by yourself, to take an Uber or a little cab by yourself, we can put it at maybe 1,500 on the higher side. And that comes to 16,500. So you've gotten to Shanzu, you have your accommodation. So now the only thing that's left is food and transport from your venue to the conference venue. And when you're looking at the cost, day 1 is cocktail. Day 1 on 9th is a cocktail. So you have your supper, your dinner, if you're a light eater, your dinner, because it's a cocktail night, you're not going to have a very massive meal, but your snack stroke dinner is already served. So all you have to do is take care of maybe a light lunch. And then the following day, you have the conference beginning in the morning. So you have your 10 o'clock tea and lunch that is already taken care of. So all you have to take care of is maybe, again, dinner. Yeah. And Mombasa food is not expensive. You can have a good meal for about 1,000 shillings. My favorite place to eat is Tarbush. I love Tarbush. They have such authentic Swahili dishes, but I believe we'll explore some other places. So that's dinner for Friday. Then on Saturday, again, your 10 o'clock tea is served and your lunch is also served. So it's just dinner, and you can decide again to just take something light or to have an authentic Costarian meal. So we can give that maybe an extra 3,000. Let's just give it 3,000. And then your transport in Mombasa, assuming you're doing this by yourself, we can give it 1,000 because you're traveling with a tuk-tuk between the accommodation. So it comes to about 20,500. And then because when you go to Mombasa, Paula, you have to agree with me. People love sherehe in Mombasa. There has to be a good party. And Paula, I know your people from the country.
Yes, I know.
They
Yes.
put the U in the fun.
Yes.
I'm talking about our Ugandan teammates. They
Yes.
love a good time. So give
Yes.
yourself maybe another 5,000 shillings. So that comes to your 25,500. And perhaps that's all you have to look at, 25,500. This does not include the ticket though, correct?
Yeah.
So with 25,500, you can come down to Mombasa, and this is on the more expensive side. We can obviously look at how to lower the cost. So with 25,500, between 20 to 25K, you can enjoy and have a good time in Mombasa.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So
Yes.
now as presidents, you have something to sell to your members after 31st March. But what other challenges are we experiencing? Because we've covered the transition from Zoom to physical, also the cost. Paula, there's something you had mentioned.
You need to remind me. I can't mention.
Yes, it skipped my mind. But so far, those are the things that we have experienced. What are the other challenges that we think people are experiencing on the ground that will make it quite expensive for people to enjoy come down to the coast and enjoy?
I wouldn't say it's really a challenge. Okay, maybe Paula can begin. Phoebe?
Oh, sorry. Okay, so maybe as you sat and explained all this, there's something that's come to mind. I think there's also the element of fear of the unknown. Yes, there's all this hype about TEACON, yes, TEACON this, TEACON that. And there's a price to it, or a price tag to it. But maybe from where I sit, I think also if it's possible to say, to maybe explain from you or the people organizing it, help us probably give a rough breakdown of what the cost entails. Maybe also there's also that element, maybe no one wants to come up and speak out and say, okay, this is what we are meant to pay for, or this is the price tag to it, but what does it entail? So that, at least when someone is enlightened, at least they feel a lot safe and they know, okay, if that's it, then I think, it's easier to even make that decision.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, just to add to Paula, Paula has made a very important point because fear can prevent people from traveling alone. But one way to address that is that if you have you're from the same club, you can decide to travel together as a group. And with group packages, then I believe that the costs are reduced significantly. Yes. Then in terms of at least having a breakdown of the prices, it will help the people to know that if this is within my budget line, let's say that those who are top level, who are able to afford the very best, then they can know that I can afford this in terms of accommodation, transport. Then there are those who are in the middle, and then there are those maybe who are on the lower bracket. So at least they would know that in case of accommodation, these are the costs of Airbnbs from this range to this range, and maybe even some contact numbers. Then people can even start booking, making deposits early. And it's also good for the Airbnb owners to also plan and get the places, set aside for these particular groups of people. That works well, especially when it comes to planning for a big group of people. You do not want them to come and they get stuck. And as a TEACON conveners, you're moving up and down. That would be a challenge for you.
Paula and Phoebe, you are very right. You are very right. So when you're talking about the breakdown, what does a ticket entail? It covers first the cocktail that's on 9th May, and then the conference, the whole day, 10th, and then 11th, the conference and the gala dinner. So this is what the ticket exclusively covers. Now, the other expenses will be on your transport and accommodation and the meals that are not covered in the conference packages. As a person who loves traveling, Paula, you have come up, you've shared something very crucial, traveling together.
Yes.
It really helps when you're traveling as a group to lower the cost. And I think when we keep sharing how many people from one club are coming, it might create a sense of euphoria. I want to be part of the Rafiki Toastmasters who are coming down. I can imagine guys from Dar es Salaam. Oh my goodness, I am sure they'll be so elated to hear that they have the highest number together with Rafiki. So shout out to Rodrigo Msechu, Maria Mabella, and the entire team of Dar es Salaam Toastmasters. You guys are doing a phenomenal job to get people to the coast. Then Exceed Toastmasters from Uganda. I love Ugandans. They put the U in the fun. And if you want to know how they do it, you need to come down to Mombasa. So I think that in itself, when we keep on telling people, these are the clubs that have the highest numbers, at least you get to know, okay, if my club is represented, then I have to be there and also join. But the aspect of meeting new Toastmasters, you don't have to come down just as Rafiki Toastmasters. You can come with other groups of Toastmasters. And I like the fact that we always interact with each other in our meetings and we make friends. I know for me, I am coming down and we're getting an Airbnb with people from different clubs. We just want to stay together, make noise together, have fun together. So you can always come with friends and ask for a package. The partner that is doing logistics is Afrojet Aviation Solutions. And Afrojet will help you come up. If you have a different itinerary from what has been availed, you can actually request for them to create a specific itinerary for you. So if you have a group of friends and you do not want to stay at a hotel, we have a list of hotels for those who desire to stay in a hotel, and a list of Airbnbs for those who desire to stay in an Airbnb. But a personalized itinerary is also something that can be done.
True.
So all you have to do is send an email to teacon@afrojetair.co.ke. I'll just type it out on the live chat, teacon@afrojetair.co.ke. Request that they create a travel itinerary for you and your group, and that will be done. And you can communicate and say if you're satisfied or otherwise. But we have a partner that is doing the logistics for accommodation and transport. Fret not, Toastmasters is taking care of us. Samuel, I haven't heard your voice.
I know, I was taking notes. I think some of this information I didn't know. I'm just getting to learn them right now. Yeah, because I think as I mentioned, I'm also part of so many other groups and we travel. And a lot of the planning that comes to such an event is catering for where your guests sleep, giving them options for them to choose, and also catering about you help cater about accommodation, you help them cater about traveling, give them some insights about this, how much it will cost you. So that with that, I think I saw it as a good way to have to let people come, because you have set an expectation to them. This is what you expect to spend.
I like that, and that is true. You know, it goes back to information is power. And okay, some people will say that we are in the age of information, but actually we are being misinformed in so many fronts. But this is not on the Toastmasters level. We are communication experts. So I believe that we are communicating well. And when you have the correct information, you're able to trickle it down to your members. So now to just bring this home, can we sum it up and just whether it's in form of a comment or a question or the things that we have taken that we can encourage also other presidents to share with their members. What is your take home from this? And Samuel, you're on the screen, so we can start with you. What is your take home, and what would you want the TEACON Planning Committee to do even better to make this experience amazing and euphoric for a lot of Toastmasters whom we are expecting at the coast?
Awesome. I think as Aria mentioned, it's about the fact on communicating. Because initially I didn't know about the whole plan on Alfrajet. So that's something I learned from this session. It was very informational for me. If we were able to have such communications go out more to other than just the flyer with the ticket cost, maybe it will encourage more people to attend or to register for the event, because we have already set that expectation. This is what I need to spend, and this is a group that's helping me make my work easier. With such, I believe we'll have more people signing up for the conference.
I like that. So have a better way of communicating. But before you leave, Kamwana, before you exit the screen, besides flyers, besides TEAcast, how else would you want us to share the information?
I don't know whether it always falls on my side, but high chances, or the best mode for me to communicate, especially things like a venue, things like what happens in an event. I would pick on videos. I don't know. I saw videos work magic for me. I'll just go take a video of the place, give the people a big picture of what the place looks like. I'll go look for materials from the previous event. This is how TEACON physically looked like, and then share something with the members.
Okay. We will share the fun we had last year in Dar es Salaam. We will share the places we went in Dar es Salaam. And whatever happened in Uganda, in Dar es Salaam stays in Dar es Salaam. But we had amazing fun. So what I get is that different kinds of learners. So there are others who they are very visual, so we should use the visual. There are others perhaps who like audio and they're tuning in for this particular TEAcast. So we will work on that. And there are videos that are coming up from 1st of April. We'll start showing you what the coast is like if you've never been to the coast. So thank you for that feedback, Samuel. Phoebe, what is your take home from this? And how would you sum it up as a president of Flamingo Toastmasters? And what are the expectations or recommendations for the TEACON Planning Committee for us to get down to the people and tell them more about TEACON?
Thank you so much, Candy. So my first take home or take out of this is the fact that, yes, I know there's TEACON, but anything else beyond that, I honestly, in all sincerity, I honestly didn't know. So I think from this, I've gotten quite a lot. There's so much that has been dissected for me. And now, beyond the name TEACON, I know what to expect. I know what it entails in terms of the breakdown, so to say. So I think from where I sit, and I speak probably on behalf of other people who only knew TEACON, but beyond that, probably even for that reason, they shied away from taking the step to actually book. So I think for me, getting to know beyond the name is one thing that I've taken home from this. And also, I think it's also kind of created a certain hype. I think I discussed with you sometime, and the fact that I got engaged into this, it now also creates that FOMO kind of thing. So God help me. Yes, I hope to take part. So I think based on what Samuel has said, he's talked about creating hype based on your previous experience. In all honesty, that really, really, really would go a long way. Giving people teasers of what to expect. There's an element, there's something that twitches someone to all of this, I need to work. I need to do something about it. So I think creating hype based on what you've had before or what people can expect, I think also that would really go a long way. Yes, and it maybe also another thing, maybe I also would commend, I want to commend you and your team is actually for the fact that you thought to reach out to teams outside of Nairobi. You know, Nairobi, there's already a lot of hype in there, but now I think now that hype has kind of spread out to the mashinani clubs. So I think that is one thing that you've done really well. So kudos for that. Yes, thank you.
Wow, I feel so happy. Oh my goodness, and so excited because when you're saying we should create a FOMO, fear of missing out, honestly, I cannot tell you how much fun we had in Dar es Salaam. You need to come down to Mombasa and understand the kind of energy, enthusiasm, ecstatic atmosphere that Toastmasters create when they come together. It is mind-blowing because before we are Toastmasters, we are human. Then we are Toastmasters, not just from Kenya, but from across 10 different countries. I don't know if you've ever met a person from Mayotte. I haven't. Someone should tell me a person from Mayotte, what are they called? Because Kenya, Kenyans, Uganda, Ugandans, Mayotte, Mayotians, Mayottes, you know? So I look forward to making a lot of friends this time, just as I did last time. And when you make friends, you realize the kind of networks you create. Toastmasters is full of crazy networks. If you want business, there are amazing people here who can connect you to businesses. But at the heart of it is developing your public speaking and leadership skills. We are stretched and we grow phenomenally. The Kendi who joined Toastmasters in 2016 is definitely not the Kendi that people get to see today. I can promise you that. I am a testimony as an individual. So you can't afford to miss out on the opportunity to get down to Mombasa. Because when people start talking about it, you can imagine a group of friends and they're talking about, oh, Mombasa was so lit. Remember this, remember that. You don't have to be the person who goes like, okay, what happened? Tell me. Wow, that must have been fun. No, you want to be at the very center. Also, giving your tea. Yes? Let me tell you, Maina, you do not want to miss Mombasa. Paula, you are our host. You are in Mombasa. Why should we come? What do we need to do as a TEACON planning committee to make sure that all roads, railways, buses, flights, everyone is heading down to Mombasa? What should we do? What can you tell us to do also to reach out to Mombasa people, because only 2 have registered to attend?
Yes, thank you so much, Kendi. And I love the contributions that have been given by my fellow presidents. What they mentioned that's very important that maybe I should also stress is the importance of visuals. Africans like seeing things. They like experiencing things with their eyes. So once you have that video there and you show them what happened last year and what Mombasa has to offer, you've seen the beaches, you can go around Parade Inn just as someone has suggested, things to see in Mombasa city. Those are things that I know would already attract people from my country. We don't have an ocean where we are. We have a lake. Even the sand that we have, I even don't know where they imported it from. But what I'm saying is that those are things that my countrymen would enjoy. I mean, they are enjoying the beach. They would enjoy the beach. They would enjoy the different climate, different cultures. So those are some of the things that you can showcase when you're sharing the videos about TEACON. Then also, what I also want to commend you as the TEACON conveners is the TEACAST. I think this is the first time you're doing it, and it's something new. And I believe that with this going forward, it will even become better and better. And what I also want to stress is maybe in the program, maybe give an opportunity for the clubs from the different countries to showcase their countries, to show that, that national pride, and also bring the clubs together from the countries and to create that sort of, competition or something that, will liven up the event. I don't know if there's going to be a dress code. I don't know, something that would make something people can remember and look forward to in the program. Then lastly, I think we already talked about costs. If these costs can be broken down into bite-size breakdowns, then that would be easy for people to look at their personal budgets, see how they can come as a group, see if they can come as an individual, and they can attend the TEACON conference. For those who are here in Mombasa, it's really, we have no excuse. We are not spending accommodation costs.
Yes.
Transport costs, we have our cars. So the most that we can do is to appear in the venue and be good hosts.
Yes.
So we have, actually, in terms of the costs, we have the best deal ever. I know some were disappointed, they wanted it outside so they can go outside and enjoy other destinations, but it so happens that we have been given this opportunity. So let us be the best hosts ever, and let us stand up in bigger numbers. In fact, the biggest number compared to other countries. Yeah, thank you.
Yay! Oh my goodness, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for your contribution. You guys, thank you for taking up this challenge and joining me on TEAcast. We should do this again. Just this team of 4. We should do it again. Paula, you have said very crucial things. Let's hype the program. Let's have something that will increase the fear of missing out. FOMO or euphoria, to get people to understand it's not just about the contestants who are going to display their prowess in public speaking, but there's something more interesting, of which we're going to share that. I will not preempt it because the convener has the information that she'll want to put there, and I will let her do that. I would like to read a few comments from the YouTube live. So Christine said she agrees physical meetings are definitely next level. And she also indicated that from Uganda, you can use ENA Coach and Transline buses. The one that we have outsourced is Palmer's. Actually, Palmer's is also a good one. Then we have a lot of people who have decided to post. And with all honesty, before I actually proceed, I have been told that people from Mayotte are called Mahorans. I will never have guessed, not in a million years, Mahorans. Oh my goodness. Okay, now we know something new today. Thank you, Jafet Musal, for sharing that. People from Mayotte are called Mahorans. So we look forward to hosting Mahorans down in Mombasa. There was something that was happening today, like I shared, TEACAS Live, the number of people who will join and speak about their clubs will get an exclusive offer. And I take it upon myself as head of marketing for TEACON to announce that the club that is going to have a discount, there's a tie. We have, I have to say this. I, as Kendi Mwabila, cannot be counted since I'm marketing chair. I will exclusively remove myself from the number. But the clubs, there are 2 clubs that will get the $100 offer, thanks to their members who have participated in the chat. And that is the Hill Toastmasters and my home club, Kwanzaa Kenya. Thank you for showing up. So Kwanzaa Kenya and the Hill Toastmasters, you will have a 24-hour exclusive offer for your members to pay $100 for the TEACON ticket. So this one will expire tomorrow at 7:30. All you have to do is register. I will share the link again on the chat, and also in any WhatsApp group, you will see the link. Register, and that link will be sent to you for you to make payment by debit or credit card. If you want a bank transfer, the details will be sent. And if you want to pay through M-Pesa, the details are on the registration form. But please register for us to be able to send you a ticket once you have paid. Otherwise, I have been your enthusiastic, ecstatic, what's the other E word? Energetic TEAcast moderator for this morning, this Wednesday morning in Nairobi, Kenya. Kendi Mwabila is my name, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next TEAcast on Saturday, 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Paula Biraro, Phoebe, Paula, Samuel, Kamwana, you have been phenomenal. Thank you, and see you next time. Have a lovely day. Adios.
Thank you to Candy. Thank you, Phoebe. And